Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm Gamesplaining Crusaders. They will be done. Now, Crusaders, They Will Be Done should be just releasing. I received this from Kickstarter last week, I believe, and so it's had a fairly quick turnaround. Now, I've managed to play this 4 times before I've done the video. I'm really happy that I did the 4th play, simply because there was a rule that I had missed. I've now caught it, and that's fine and fixed up, and will be in the Gamesplaination as you watch it. So you don't need to know about that, but having read through the rules a couple of times, I still miss stuff. And that's really important to be aware of. The game itself feels like a heavy game when we first look at it. It feels like a light game when you're playing it, but it sits somewhere between the two. The essence of the game is this Moncola kind of idea, or rondel. You're using both things, so it's on a rondel, you're placing stuff down in consecutive order, so like the Moncola, if you know those ancient Gamesplaination terms. But it's based on that principle, and however many tokens are on a spot tells you how many times you can do a thing or how strong you can do that thing. What I've found is that there is a heck of a lot going on with the actual crusading. So it's called Crusaders. It needs to be called Crusaders. If you like that or dislike that, it doesn't actually matter. That doesn't really come into the play of it, but it kind of needs to be in that idea of the game to make the game work. So you're not fighting against each other, but you are fighting, and you're fighting against the tokens on the board. Now, when you fight against them, you'll get points and you'll make them stronger, and you need to go into that battle, and then you're kind of taking territory from them, if you like, and you're building on those spots. You don't have to build on those spots, but it's a good idea to do so. If you are doing that building, it's really important that in order to win, you're doing the crusading, the battling. I don't think that it's possible to win without really doing that too much. And I've looked at this game, I've tried it a couple of times on the 4-player, and I have lost dismally. One time, another time I lost by not being able to do that final battle. If I was able to do the final battle, I would have won. And that's a 4-player game. So it means everyone's in that really small space. And that's a really good balance on a game. Because the guy who won that one was actually saying, after about the 3rd turn, I feel like I've already lost. And that's a really important thing to realize with this game, is you may feel like you've already lost, but if you're continually pushing in and trying new things out, you actually may win the game. It's actually really well balanced, and I appreciate that. The game's by Tasty Minstrel, and they do a really good job. They do the updated, or the really good version for Kickstarter, and then they've got another version on the actual regular sales. And I've got the Kickstarter version, so it's got plastic minis that are all really nicely cut up and look really pretty, and I've got a little sword as the 1st player marker, and I've got metal coins as the influence tokens, so for the winnings. If you're buying it off the shelf, or you have purchased it off the shelf, you'll probably just have cardboard. Please forgive my video that I'm using those updated versions, and that's just one of those things that happens when you purchase a Kickstarter game, especially from Tasty Minstrel. They will always do this upgraded version. The game is for 2 to 4 players, and I find that the way that they've managed to manipulate each of the player counts works quite nicely. I've found that with the 2-player game that I'm much more able to move all of my buildings off the board, or get a larger number of those buildings moved off the board, than if I'm playing with a higher player count. But that's more about space on the area of the board that you're able to fill up. And kind of the challenge of doing that, it really kind of plays into it. And that's actually really nicely built and really nicely balanced for my liking. And I find for anyone who's playing it that they've found a balance on it. I said earlier that the game looks heavy and complex, but when you're playing it, it's not that at all. And I fear that you've got kind of 5 actions you can do, I guess is probably the best way to put it. You've got 5 actions, and you're choosing between those actions. And so the thinkiness that comes into those 5 actions is actually really big, and can make this game drag out. If, however, you are thinking ahead and you know what you're doing as your time comes around, your turn can be super quick because it's go, oh, I've got 5 things on that, do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your turn. It can be that quick, or it can be, oh, now if I do that, I'm going to have this many, and no, I can't quite do that yet, so I'm going to have to build that up. To build that up, I'm going to need to do something on this side of that space. If I do that one, I'm just going to get... And that thought process should be happening while other people are taking their turns. The only time that thought process will get interrupted is if someone else has travelled into a space that you were thinking about travelling to, at which point you're going to have to decide. You can still do that, but you're going to have to decide if it's worthwhile. If that player who has moved is going to be able to do the Crusade action, which one would assume they're going to do, but they may not have enough tokens to do it. So you may have enough saved up so you can do the travel, the Crusade, the build through your movements and through your all of the actions that you've got available to you, whereas they may not be able to do that. Or if you move into that space and battle or do the Crusade, they may then be able to just build, which might be the reason you're looking at going there in the first place. So there's that kind of thing. You're not playing against each other in terms of what's on the actual board, but you're playing against each other in terms of where can I get the points, how can I get these points added on to what I'm doing. I think this is a really wonderful game from Tasty Minstrel. It sits right in the wheelhouse of what I expect to come from Tasty Minstrel. I do expect a fairly high standard from their games. I've got quite a few of their games behind me. The one that keeps drawing me back is Orléans, which is right down the end there on the 4-player. And a lot of their games are the 4-player games, and they play really nicely, and they just fit really nicely into my wheelhouse. So look, I recommend Crusaders if you come across it. If you have a chance to have a play of it, do so. If you like it, or you dislike it, please comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are about this game. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you'd like to be gamesplaying, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.